Imagine waking up one morning and nobody knows it's your birthday. No cake, no candles, no gifts, and not even your own parents know the exact day you were born. Sounds impossible today, doesn't it? But for most of human history, birthdays simply didn't exist. Ancient people had no calendars, no clocks, and no reason to remember the exact day someone entered the world. So how did birthdays become one of the biggest celebrations on Earth? Let's travel thousands of years into the past and discover the surprising story of how humans started caring about birthdays. Thousands of years ago, life was completely different from what we know today. Ancient humans spent nearly every waking hour searching for food, finding clean water, building shelters, and protecting themselves from dangerous animals and harsh weather. Every single day was about survival. Because life was so difficult, nobody cared about counting the exact number of days. People could recognize the changing seasons, the movement of the sun, and the different phases of the moon, but they rarely kept track of specific dates. When a baby was born, the family was happy, but there were no hospitals, no birth certificates, and often no written language. Parents usually didn't record the exact day because, for them, what mattered most wasn't the day someone was born. It was whether they survived long enough to grow up. Everything slowly began to change when humans discovered farming around 10,000 years ago. Farmers needed to know the right time to plant seeds and harvest crops, so they carefully observed the sky and realized that seasons repeated in predictable patterns. Over time, early civilizations created calendars to keep track of months and years. For the first time in history, people could remember important events with specific dates. Even then, birthdays were still not celebrated by ordinary people. Communities were more interested in celebrating successful harvests, religious festivals, or the founding of a village than the birth of one individual. One of the earliest birthday celebrations came from ancient Egypt, but it wasn't what you might expect. The only birthdays considered important belonged to the pharaoh. Interestingly, Egyptians didn't celebrate the pharaoh's actual birth. Instead, they celebrated the day he became king. They believed that once a pharaoh was crowned, he became a living god. This special day was marked with huge ceremonies, music, feasts, gifts, and religious rituals to honor the ruler. While kings received magnificent celebrations, ordinary people still lived their lives without birthday parties. Later, the ancient Greeks introduced a completely new idea. They believed that every person had a protective spirit connected to the day they were born. To honor the gods, especially the moon goddess Artemis, people baked round cakes that looked like the full moon. They placed candles on top, so the glowing flames would resemble moonlight. Many historians believe this tradition became the beginning of the birthday cake and candles we still enjoy today. Back then, candles were much more than decoration. People believed that the rising smoke carried their wishes and prayers all the way to the gods above. The ancient Romans took birthdays one step further by making them more personal. For the first time, many ordinary citizens began celebrating the day they were born. Friends and family gathered together to enjoy meals, exchange small gifts, and wish each other good health, happiness, and a long life. However, these celebrations weren't equal for everyone. In early Roman society, birthday celebrations mainly focused on men, while women were publicly recognized much later. Even so, birthdays were slowly transforming into celebrations of individuals instead of only kings or rulers. Not every ancient culture welcomed birthdays. In many societies, people believed that evil spirits were especially active on the day a person was born. Because of this belief, friends and relatives stayed close to the birthday person, offering prayers, blessings, songs, and gifts to protect them from bad luck. Ironically, many traditions we associate with fun birthday parties today may have originally started as ways to keep dangerous spirits away. As centuries passed, calendars became more accurate, writing became more common, governments started recording births, and societies placed greater importance on family life. Parents wanted to celebrate each year their children grew stronger, healthier, and wiser. Birthdays slowly changed from religious or royal ceremonies into warm family gatherings filled with love and happiness. Instead of honoring kings, people began celebrating the unique life of every child and every family member. One of the sweetest traditions in birthday history appeared in Germany during the Middle Ages. Families celebrated children's birthdays with a festival called Kinderfest. A cake was placed on the table with one candle for every year of the child's life, and sometimes one extra candle symbolized hope for another healthy year ahead. The candles remained burning throughout the day, and in the evening the child made a silent wish before blowing them all out. Even today, millions of children around the world follow almost exactly the same tradition without realizing it began hundreds of years ago. As the modern world developed, birthdays spread across nearly every culture. Schools celebrated students, friends organized surprise parties, families gathered around dinner tables, and people exchanged cards, balloons, flowers, presents, and of course, birthday cakes. Today, birthdays are much more than simply getting older. They remind us of how far we've come, bring families together, strengthen friendships, and give everyone a chance to feel appreciated. Every birthday marks another chapter in a person's life and reminds us that every year is something worth celebrating. When you really think about it, it's amazing how this tradition has traveled through history. Something that began with ancient kings, early calendars, moon-shaped cakes, and old superstitions eventually became one of the happiest celebrations shared by billions of people around the world. Every birthday candle tells a story, every wish carries hope, and every celebration reminds us that life itself is a gift. The next time you blow out the candles on your birthday cake, remember that you're taking part in a tradition that has traveled through thousands of years of human history, from ancient caves to powerful kingdoms, and finally into your own home today. And that is an incredible journey. If you enjoyed learning how ancient humans started celebrating birthdays, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing stories about how humans created the world we live in today. Every week, we explore the hidden history behind everyday things, from food and families to inventions, traditions, games, and much more. So hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and join us on our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Follow the Explainly, where history becomes simple, fun, and unforgettable.